Hi, Citadel. Welcome to this video on our end zone. So in this very short video, I want to talk about what we do in our end zone set. So in the end zone, as we know, our offense is going to look a little different. So in the past, we have our traditional vert stack. That's what's shown right here. And then we have a single handler with the disc. It's force flick right now. And then we have a reset handler. Now, in the past, we have had cuts from our end zone come from, say, the back of the stack, where they will cut in and maybe make a cut either to the force side here or to the brake side, maybe somewhere over here. Some of you may remember where we would only have one cutter be active, and then the rest of these cutters will just sort of wait in the back of the end zone, not doing anything. For this season, we're going to try to be a little more strategic with our vertical stack. So we're not going to run an ISO set where we only have one player. From those in previous seasons, you might remember that play where we had the Zach and the Zach, this cutter right here, and then the two handlers were the only three people making cuts. But this season, we're going to combine that with our vertical stack. We still want to focus on the vertical stack. So what we're going to do for our end zone set for the rest of this season, we will call end zone. So when we get close, one of our handlers here should call end zone, but everybody should know it. Everybody should know that this is our strategy. This is our play. When we call end zone, rather than cuts coming from the back, as we've usually had, where this person is the first cut. So we have the first cut, we have the second cut, we have the third cut, and so on. We're actually going to switch the direction. We're going to have cuts come from the ace right here. We're going to have cuts come from the ace. So we're going to have our first cut here, our second cutter, our third cutter, and our fourth cutter, and then our fifth cutter. So this is going to be the order. We're going to reverse this in the end zone. This is to make space. This is so the ace here has lots of space to work with. So when we call end zone, the ace here, and remember the ace is the person closest to the handler who has their hand in the air calling stack. They will make, maybe a fake. They'll push into the space and then cut either here, or they can maybe make a jab and then cut to the brake side. This is what the first cut ace is going to do. Now, if they get the disc, good, we score. That's excellent. That's the goal. But if this cutter does not get the disc, so maybe they cut in and then cut to the brake side. So they're about here. Okay. These red circles are the defense. So maybe we end up something like this. So we've cut to the brake side and they're over here now. We want to clear up this space. This space is where we score, also in the corner. So we want to clear out this space as much as possible so the ace has space to get the disc. So as soon as you're done, this person is going to clear to the back. They're going to clear to the back of the stack. And then, so he will clear. He'll end up somewhere over here. Now it is this person's turn to cut. And so they can either cut to the brake side a little bit and then clear across, or they can maybe jab to the break side to pull their defender in here, and then try to score somewhere over here. Or sometimes you can do an S cut, which is where you kind of run a slant and try to get into this corner here. It's a little bit tricky. But the goal is to make your defender off balance with that S cut. But the point is, we always have cuts coming from the ace rather than coming from the back. So, to recap, when we get close to the end zone, we will have our stack right here. We will have all of our cutters line up. We will have our handler, our reset handler, and we have cuts coming from the ace. They can either cut and then they clear to the back. Okay. So always, always, always the motion that we want is cuts coming from the ace, and then we clear. And then this person comes in. They can either cut to the force side or maybe try to cut to the break side. And then they clear. We're always clearing to the back of the stack. This is to make sure this space and this space always remain open. So we're always clearing back here. This is very, very, very important. Our end zone set will become a lot harder if we do not clear to this space right here. That is the most important thing. I don't mind what cut you do. Lots of things can work in the end zone. It's a tight space. Lots of things can happen, but the most important thing is when you are here and you make a cut, when you are done, you always come back right here. This is the most important thing I want us to take away from this video. So that is, in short, our end zone. In the next video, we'll talk about a drill that we are going to do. Stay tuned.